What's up, guys? Jeremy Conn here. It is the Lowdown. It's all brought to you by Pickdawgz.com. Appreciate you guys checking this out. Please click the like and subscribe button. That helps us out. And if you click the notification button, that will let you know anytime one of these gets posted. Again, finish all this blocking and tackling, get the salesy stuff out of the way. We have the concrete inner circle. If you text inner circle to the number that you see there, that will hook you up with the, basically it's a rated system that I've been doing. Been doing it since the beginning of the year. It's been pretty successful, full disclosure. Last 2 days, prop plays have been on fire again. We're still, but we'll go over the plays in just a second. But I had a losing day yesterday. I felt I deserved better in that Ole Miss game, but we'll talk about it. But if you're interested in bigger bets, big plays, this is for you. I called the Texas upset. That was a top play for me, along with the Temple over. But I did miss on the Ole Miss over, and Georgia just. You hold them to 9 points and you can't cover that spread. Are you kidding me? You guys can't score against Georgia Tech's defense? Woof. But yeah, I always get myself sidetracked here because I'm pissed off about yesterday's card. Text Center Circle that number and you can find out about the rated system. It is a little pricier, so if it's not for you, don't worry about it, guys. That's perfectly fine. Even if you're just showing up watching the video, I do appreciate you guys checking this out. I understand everyone's background and what you have and what you're willing to bet. Even if you're just betting $10 a game, that's... and you're doing it right and you're enjoying it, hey, so be it. But if you're interested in the plays, because I've been attaching prop plays to so many plays this year. And as I said before, so you guys, if you bought picks on the premium side, hopefully if you buy a pick and it loses, a singular pick, or if it's like a triple play, you got to hit 2 out of 3 for me to get paid, you get a token back to use wherever you want to use. Now, I was hoping the dudes they got their token back on Thursday after I went 11-4 in prop plays, 1-2 in the sides. But again, had the Ravens over and the Chiefs under. I'll give you the Chiefs under being, that was a little dicier as it got into the fourth quarter, but they still needed 3 scores, and they got it. The last one putting it over the total. And then with the Ravens game, I still have no idea how that didn't go over the total. It's just brutal to watch a game like that. But anyway, I digress. I'll get away from that. But it's been interesting. So going back to the way the plays work, you get your token back and you get to use that somewhere else. If you buy a 3-day or if you buy a week or a year, a month, whatever it may be, you're not getting anything back for that regardless of the results. But that's one of the reasons why when Pickdawgz told me their platform, because I had been talking to them for years, that I like this. Yeah, trust me, I'd like to get paid when my picks lose, but I get it. It's not a... I think it's just very fair to the consumer. And, again, I know Kossi talks about it all the time about buying like the lengthy packages, either a month, a week, whatever it is, because when you try to jump on somebody who's hot, you may find out about it and you may be on the back end of that burner. But, it is what it is. So I do like doing this stuff over here. It's been fun. I got to say it's been very frustrating with some of the tough losses I've had. And that goes back to Thursday. But, as I was just doing the numbers, over the past 2 days in prop plays, and I've given them all out for free, I'm 17-6. Hopefully you guys have taken advantage of it. And to be brutally honest, 4 of those were just really hard luck losers. Jalen Hurts over rushing yards, missed it by a half a yard. Son of a bitch, man. You look at some of these things, you're like, oh my God, you got to be kidding me. So I missed that by a half a yard. Missed a half a reception on Christian Watson. Isaiah Likely touchdown as he fumbles the ball through the back of the end zone. After they called it a touchdown, it was clearly a fumble. Zay Flowers, long touchdown pass. Pass interference, they get it called back. And, just frustrating to say the least. I had Ryan Wingo. That was one of my losses in college last night for Texas as he didn't reach his yardage mark. I think he threw a pass in that game. They do a lot of gimmick stuff with him. But that was my lone loss in college football as I went 3-1 in college and 3-1 in the NFL yesterday with the props that I gave out. So, all right, keep rambling about all this stuff. Let me get into yesterday's slate. As we talked about, Ole Miss it's 7-7 to start the game. Then you blink and it's like, oh, it's 14-7 before the end of the first quarter. So you're rolling. And then it was like drive to the 50 and punt. Here's 3 and out, 3 and out, 3 and out. And then you're going, what is going on with these offenses? And then finally you get some points before the half to make you feel a little bit better about the total. And then we get into the second half, and here it is. Ole Miss is scoring a ton. Mississippi State drive, screws the pooch, missed field goal here. There's all kinds of stuff that went wrong. And then, oh, by the way, Ole Miss getting the penalty at the end of the game when the touchdown. Yeah. This is frustrating, man. And then the Eagles, you can't even complain about the Eagles game because I was on the Eagles -7. I did not expect the Bears to come in and run the hell out of the football the way they did. Just to let you know how much I like the Eagles and what the props were telling me, I took Caleb Williams under 208, I think it was 208 or 206.5 passing yards. And what did he throw for in that game? Because both running backs ran for 100 yards. I mean, it's not, you don't normally see games like this. I went to the Ravens game. Yeah, but this is let me get to these numbers. It's just ridiculous. So Caleb Williams threw for 154 yards. I could have gone 2 more quarters and probably still won that bet. Monangai, 130 yards rushing. DeAndre Swift, 125. So again, when you look at what my plays were in that game, and we kind of talked about them, DJ Moore under receptions, he caught 2 for 17, that hit. Caleb Williams under yards, that hit. Saquon Barkley under rushing yards, that hit. And Jalen Hurts, 4 for 31, baby. And I had him at 31.5 yards. And you know what the other bitch of this is? I'm just now thinking about it. It's the fumble on the tush push, where these refs blow the whistle with forward progress being stopped. I still think he landed on the damn football. I know you can't give the ball back to him in that spot with all those guys piled up, but that would have been a yard gain, and that would have put me at 32. I mean, look, winning days, but still frustrating as hell. Like, my props have just been on fire. I was going back to look at just how it's looked this year because, as I've said, I've had some weeks where I've swept the board. I've gone 18-2 in weeks, and this week, again, I'll take a 17-6 over 2 days. I mean, I felt like I was putting up too many prop bets, but I really liked everything because you'll see me have a game with 1 prop bet, with 2. Hell, I had a Ravens game earlier this year with 6, and all 6 of them hit, and then I lost the Ravens game. So, what a brutal day that was. But again, prop plays have been on fire. I'm going to give out some to you for Sunday or for today. And where else we want to go? Oh, I guess I should just run through what I had on Saturday. I was all over Auburn. I like Kentucky to upset Louisville. I like Miami to blow out Pitt. I thought Washington was a live dog against Oregon. Same thing with California, plus 13.5 against SMU. Not going to call them a live dog. I mean, California's not good, but I wouldn't be shocked if they win this spot. But SMU's been on a roll. I'll take California plus the points. ECU and FAU, that's East Carolina, Florida Atlantic, over the 65.5. I was on Arkansas plus 3.5, which we talked about yesterday. And kind of an oddball one, but Harvard and Villanova to go over the 56.5. College hoops, I like Milwaukee and Akron to go over 169.5. The Timberwolves, I did like the Heat over. I did not make it a play, and my top hockey play was Vancouver and LA over 6.5. So that was everything from Saturday's card. Now, let's just dive right into the plays and see where this takes us, because there's a lot of information that I don't know if you guys know, but I feel like you should. And if you've been doing your research, you will know these things going on. But let's start off with a game that I really didn't even want to talk about. It's Buffalo at Pittsburgh. Bills now down to 3, 4, 4.5, 3.5. I saw a lot of 3.5s throughout the week, and then I saw that FanDuel came off that number and put it at 3. 45.5 is the total. I go back to what I said about Pitt-Indy. I believe Indy's the better team, clearly. I don't believe in Pitt. I think Pitt is a bad football team this year. The quarterback play sucks. The defense has been horrendous. It just hasn't been good. DK Metcalf, I mean, I don't know how many times he's beaten guys deep now, but at this point of the season, it seems like he's getting a lot of underneath stuff or intermediate. But here's the issue, is that we just watched Josh Allen get sacked 8 times against Houston. Much, much better defense than what Pittsburgh is bringing to the table. The left tackle and right tackle for the Bills are out. There's a couple other players that are out, too, through injury. A lot of pressure on Josh Allen. He's had 10 days to get ready for this. And I always say, 10 days, I mean, that includes some of these guys get time off. It's just resting up. I mean, the coaches are constantly working. You're watching film. That period of time that Josh Allen was off, he went and got his number retired at Wyoming with Haley Steinfeld. They were in the stadium. So, it's not like he's out there in Wyoming prepping for the game or anything. But he's at this point of his career where I think he knows these teams. He does his film study. Josh Allen's a phenomenal player. You're going to ask him to be Superman in this game. And then you're looking at the other side, and you got T.J. Watt, who just passed his brother in sacks. You're going to put backup tackles against him. So now you got to show him some extra attention, which means maybe you have less guys going out on routes. Dalton Kincaid is, I don't know if they ruled him out yet. He was questionable. Like I said, just very banged up. Buffalo, to me, is the far superior team. Pittsburgh is the spot. I'm going to tell you to take the Steelers plus the points. I don't love it. And honestly, I think I'm going to make it a play for me after all this information's come out and seeing this line movement. I'm going to be on the Steelers plus 3. All right, let's go to the next game. And here's where we get into, I got prop plays for the rest of these because one of these plays is my top play of the week. But the other game I felt like we needed to bring up was San Francisco at Cleveland. San Fran minus 4.5, 36.5 is the total. The weather is awful there. I was reading this on my show the other day. Let me just pull up the weather report as we're talking about it. But you get San Francisco coming off of Monday Night Football, traveling to face Cleveland. And as I was saying to somebody else, it is a bit of a dilemma when the weather has such a huge impact, and this game should have very impactful weather. What else am I looking at here? I can give you all the weather spots. Atlanta and New York Jets, wind around 10 to 15 miles an hour. There's some rain, stronger gusts. Buffalo at Pitt, some chance for rain showers, wind at about 10 miles an hour. There's a bunch of rain games on Sunday where we're seeing, like the Patriots game, is that Monday night, I believe? Temps in the 30s. They can't rule out a shower, even snow, so you can look forward to that. But here's what it says about San Francisco and Cleveland. A decent chance for some rain plus some potent winds. Right now, models have them about 20 miles an hour and gusts all the way up to 35 miles an hour, which makes kicking almost irrelevant at times. That it affects the punting game. It affects, clearly, you're going to see teams going for it on fourth down more unless they decide to punt on the short field. So the numbers may go up and down by tomorrow, but this could be a spot that makes it much more difficult to push the ball down the field. And conventional wisdom would sit here and say, all right, so you're looking at it, oh my God, they got Christian McCaffrey. He's the best running back on the field, one of the best players on the field, period, right? But Cleveland has the far superior run defense. So you're looking at it and seeing the dilemma here. You could try to hammer the under at 36.5. I'm not touching it because we've seen crazy things happen in some of these so-called bad weather games, or you bet it and the weather doesn't end up being as bad as you think it's going to be. So I'm staying away from that. And again, if teams are going for it on fourth down, or if they're trying to throw in bad conditions, could lead to tip passes, fumbles, short fields, long fields. You don't know when the turnovers are going to happen. So that's why I stayed away from the total. My play in this game is George Kittle under 4.5 receptions. Now, I had this all done up before I saw what the weather was. I still like this play. I think Cleveland's going to do a fine job of keeping the underneath, pay a lot of attention to him, because some of these guys that you're expecting to hit the intermediates, I don't know that Purdy's going to be able to get him the ball if the wind is as bad as they say it's going to be. So we shall see. Cleveland with the much better defense. I've already told you I don't like San Francisco's defense, but I'm going to take Kittle under the 4.5 receptions, as these are all going to be free plays, guys, because I'm on all of them. Let's go to the Raiders and the Chargers. Chargers minus 9.5, 40.5 is the total. I brought this up before. So the Buffalo Bills statistically are the best team against tight ends. And then when you go and look at it, the Chargers are right there with them. I'm going to tell you to take Brock Bowers under 58.5 yards. And before you go, are you kidding me? Isn't that the only guy they throw to in that offense? He played the Chargers early this year and had 8 catches for 33 yards. They make them throw him the ball underneath. So if Brock's going to beat him, he's going to have to – there's going to have to be something that happens. He sneaks past whatever they have. They show him so much attention. I think Ashton Genty is more interesting in this game. But, again, this Chargers team favored by almost double digits. They should win this game. I like Brock Bowers under 58.5 yards. And, again, I do think this is a lower scoring game if you want to go that route. A play for me is the under in this game, so there's another freemium. I feel like I throw out a lot of free stuff on here. It only matters when it hits, though. If I throw out free stuff and it sucks, then it's like, well, I don't want that free shit. But yeah, it's this game here. I do like them to hold Bowers. And if you want to go look at it, go look at what the Bills and the Chargers have done against tight ends in each game. It's ridiculous to look at how good they've been against that position. And again, there's times, too, where you'll see like teams have a funnel defense. The Chargers used to be one of those teams with a funnel defense, and then you would play tight ends against them. Now that's vastly changed. Cleveland had a funnel defense where you'd want to play tight ends against them. Oh, God, there was another. Now I wish I could remember who it was, but there was a defense that was just so bad against slots, and they funneled to the middle of the field, and you would watch slot receivers eat them up. I remember seeing, what was it, 2 years ago, I think when St. Juice was with Washington, number one receivers against Washington. I mean, they'd get a buck and a touchdown almost every single game. So Yeah. I mean, there's certain things you find throughout the season, and these are two that I've attacked quite a bit. Buffalo against tight ends, San Diego against the LA Chargers against tight ends. Sorry. All right, let's go to the last game, and then we'll get the hell out of here. Texans at the Colts. Colts are -3.5. The total is 44.5. You're going to hear people talk about this game. I know a lot about this series because, as I said before, I was a big Peyton Manning fan. I grew up without a football team. I played basketball in high school and college. I know I looked like a superior athlete. I walked onto a D1 basketball school, made the team, got in a car accident, and that's what led me into radio. The short and sweet of it. But, when it comes down to it, you're going to look at some of these games and go, okay, you're a Colts fan. How'd you become a Colts fan? I'm not a Colts fan anymore. I realized once Peyton Manning left the team, I really was a Peyton Manning fan. So then I kind of rooted for him in the Broncos. And now I kind of pull for the Ravens, but I don't live and die by it. Honestly, the only team that I have that I live and die by are my Orioles because I grew up with them. But even then, as a handicapper, I try to remove all biases out of it. I'll bet against them if I feel like the spot is right. If it's a playoff game, yeah, I probably won't bet the game and just root for them and hope that my handicapping was wrong if I'm against them. But who knows? It depends how I feel. If I really feel like it's a great spot, I'm going to hammer it. Money's money, man. I always joke. I said I'd bet on my mom. I'd bet against my mom in a fist fight if I thought the other lady was better. She's probably not. But anyway, Texans at the Colts. Two prop plays in this one I like. Alec Pierce under 2.5 receptions. I think that is plus money. Texans have done a really good job of eliminating big plays, and Alec Pierce is the big play guy there. I think he catches 2. If he catches 3, I feel like maybe we just get a little unlucky, but I like this spot. And yeah, here's another one I want to bring up. I am on Daniel Jones over 3.5 rush attempts, and I know people are going to read, oh my God, he's got a fractured fibula. Are you sure you want to bet that? He is playing through this, and if he's playing through it, it means he can run. It's more of a pain management thing, and if you guys know anything about these guys getting shot up before games, I remember when I had kidney stones and they gave me a shot of Toradol in my ass, and I went, what on earth is that? I couldn't breathe, and then all of a sudden I was like, I had no pain, like zero. And then when that wore off, I realized I still had kidney stones again, and I had to get a shot of morphine. But no, like I said, you can get through some of this stuff, and if he's not, it's more important if his tibia is fractured than his fibula. So he can play through it. And again, if he gets his leg snapped in half, don't blame me. I am still betting him over 3.5 rush attempts. With this Houston defense, with quarterback sneaks, and he does their QB sneaks, all those things count as rush attempts. If he's getting pressured out of the pocket and takes off, he does it quite a bit, whether he runs for 1 yard, no yards, whatever. As long as you get the rush attempt, you're golden. I like him over 3.5 here. I think you start to see Daniel Jones use his legs a little bit more through the rest of the season and into the playoffs, as long as this injury doesn't hamper him. So I do think the Texans are a live dog there as well. So there's another, the premium. Anyway, guys, I hope you guys have a wonderful Sunday, and Thanksgiving was great for you. I'll be back tomorrow, and as we usually do on our Monday podcast, I write down all the prop stuff that I give out. The results of my algorithm, I come back the next morning on Mondays and Thursdays for those games, and I post what the algorithm results are. So when I read them, you don't have to sit there and try to stop and write everything down and all that nonsense. So anyway, all right, guys, let me get out of here. I've talked way too long. Appreciate you guys. Hope you win some cash. I'll see you tomorrow.